Hey fourth graders, today we're going to learn about parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines that never intersect. That means they never cross. They go on and on forever and ever in either direction. So they are two lines. Remember, lines go on forever in both directions, and these lines never touch. So that means they don't have like an angle, okay? So just like with a square, right, the lines go straight up, or straight to the sides, or a rectangle, okay? Those lines would never ever touch if they went forever and ever and ever. Just like if you looked at a railroad track that trains go on, they go on forever and ever, okay? So an example of a shape that has parallel lines on both sides, it's called a parallelogram. A parallelogram has two sets of parallel sides. So go ahead, get your fingers out, and look at the shape in front of you. Do you see how your angles, the lines, they keep going on forever and ever? Okay, check them out. The ones on the side do, the ones on the top and bottom do. This is a parallelogram. There are lots of other shapes that are also, or not lots, but there are also other shapes that are parallelograms, and I'm going to show them to you now. A rectangle is another example of a parallelogram. A rectangle is a more specific type of parallelogram. So, is a parallelogram a rectangle? It can be. So this is a rectangle and a parallelogram. A rectangle has two sides of equal length, and it also has two sets of parallel lines. So a rectangle is also a parallelogram. Remember, a rectangle is also a quadrangle or a quadrilateral because it has four sides. This shape has different names. The most specific name that we can give it is rectangle. A square is another example of a parallelogram. It has two sides that go on forever and ever. So the ones that go up and down are parallel, and the ones that go to the side are parallel. They never touch. But a square is a specific type of parallelogram. It has four equal sides. The sides are equal in length, and it has four right angles. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the angles are the same. They're right angles. But we can also say that a square is a parallelogram. It's just a more specific type of parallelogram. Finally, a rhombus is also a parallelogram. If you look at the sides, test them out. Kind of move your hands up and down. Do you see how those lines would never ever touch? A rhombus has equal length sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. All sides are the same length, just like in a square. But it doesn't have right angles. Do you notice how the angles aren't shaped like an L? They have a different shape. So this is a rhombus. So is a rhombus a parallelogram? Yes, it is. It's a more specific type of parallelogram because it has two sets of parallel lines. What types of lines are shown here? These are intersecting lines. They haven't intersected yet, but do you see how if they kept on moving, they would intersect, they would meet, okay? Parallel lines never meet. Intersecting lines do. So let's look at a shape that has both intersecting lines and parallel lines. This is a trapezoid. A trapezoid is unique because it has one set of parallel lines and one set of intersecting lines. So look at the top and the bottom. Do you see how they are parallel? They will never ever touch. Okay? The ones on the sides though, they have an angle to them. They are facing in. They don't intersect right now, but if you imagined them going over and over and over up, they would intersect. They would cross. Okay, can you do that with me? Go ahead and put your hands up to the screen and test it out. See how long it would take for those lines to intersect. Okay, so a trapezoid is a shape that is a quadrangle, right? Quadrilateral has four sides. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral that has 4 sides. It has 2 lines that are parallel, and it has 2 intersecting lines. Okay, look at the picture in front of you. Can you find the parallelogram? There's more than one. Remember, a parallelogram has 2 sets of parallel lines. Okay, let's talk about it. So I see one shape that is truly a parallelogram. That is the only specific name we can give it. It is the light blue shape. It has 2 sets of parallel lines, one that goes this way and one that goes this way. I see a rectangle. A rectangle is the medium blue color, and it has 2 sets of parallel lines that go like this and this. I spy a rhombus that is red. Remember, a rhombus has 4 equal sides, but the angles are not right angles. And if you look at it, it has 2 sets of parallel lines again. Okay, and then the last parallelogram that I spy is a square, and it is purple. Okay, the purple square has 4 equal lines. It has 4 right angles, and it has 2 sets of parallel lines. And then now that I said that, I actually also spy a pink diamond. And that is also, do you think it's a rhombus? It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not quite sure. I think I'd have to get out my ruler to check for sure. But it looks like it has parallel lines as well. Do you see the one shape that has a pair of parallel lines and a pair of intersecting lines? It is the trapezoid. The trapezoid is kind of like a dark purple color, and it's right under the A and N, S, W in the word answer. And the intersecting lines go like this, and the parallel lines go like this. If you have any questions about parallel lines or intersecting lines, please let me know how I can help you.